And about the college, if you know, I came from a country that every person considered to be wrong, and one way and another, violate the right of each other. If we start uh, um, like bringing everybody to judgment, who will judge? Even the judges are to be questioned. So sometimes we have to apologize, we have to forgive each other for the generation like Kevin, for our future generation, for our children. And start from now onward, we have to pave the paths for future. I know, like people who hurt it, like country as Afghanistan type of things, or women rights, and all the problem. Justice must. Peace cannot be without justice. But we also have to think about the way that if, do not harm each other. So my message is that we have to go forward, make our country more peaceful. Our future generation should live in peace. And about young boy concern, there are individuals who are really needs to brought to justice. And we have to have some system to make in those individuals, and those could not represent all the other people, you know? So individuals should be treated as individuals.
This lady asked for individual actions being taken by people. I think one of the biggest things is that Aboriginal people we have movements out there. We have American Indian movement. We have Warrior Society out there. We have I Don't Know More out there. Those are all movements that are trying to bring the awareness to light. The government has put up Bill 51, trying to get rid of us protesting, us raising our voices, and those are the ways that we raise our voices. All those movements are out there just to bring awareness to what's going on, bring to light to what's going on, to be there for our people, to show you guys you know what I mean? So it's like, I think a very big thing is the educational purpose of what's going on, to bring to light, to show that even, I never learned this in schools, even when I'm an 80s baby, and I learned about Aboriginal peoples, but I never heard about the hurt. I never learned about residential schools. I never learned about any of that stuff. So all those movements are out there, and they're fighting for something. They're not out there. They're not formed for. They're not fighting confrontational. We're not, you know what I mean? Those wars are back in the day wars when we used to our people used to go to wars. Those movements are out there to bring awareness and to be there. You know what I mean, for one another. So it brings unity to our peoples. Those flags, those warrior flags that are flying, the Haudenosaunee flags that are flying. When you see those people marching down the streets and everything, those are to bring awareness and to bring unity amongst their peoples. Both the issues that are facing the murdered and missing Indigenous women. Look what's going on with that. Like it's very sad with all those murdered and missing Indigenous women going missing and murdered and found murdered, and nothing's being done about it. The guy mentioned back there about the Boston Pizza dude. I never heard that story, but I don't know, was he for it or was he against it? I don't know what you were saying. I didn't know his story, but that's a very sad era in what's going on with those murdered and missing Indigenous groups. Imagine if it was one of your murdered, or one of your daughters or grandchild's murdered or missing. You're gonna want some action taken. I assume all you guys would. Like, I don't know if my nieces are, you know what I mean? Some of my families have been murdered, and so it's very sad part that the Harper government did not take part and call an inquiry into what's going on. Maybe we need to have some more stuff on the reservations. Maybe we need to have more policing. Maybe more stuff going on, like stuff to, you know what I mean? Just stuff that can help. But I'm glad Trudeau's in, and I'm hopefully he's I hear he's looking into launching an inquiry. So that's very good. And yeah, it's like what I said.
I'd just like to speak about the mention of Ryerson. So he is part of all of Canada that reacted very badly, very sinfully towards First Nations people. So what do we do with him? Just push him into the ground, incarcerate him, Or is this not an opportunity to say, okay, he was wrong, and go to the depth of how he was wrong, to learn from his mistake, and for us to be converted. If he were alive, then we would say, okay, he's got to change, and he has to be converted. I would think, keep the name Ryerson, and Ryerson now have a new interpretation that it be a center for justice and peace and respect for all peoples. I think that's the way it has to be with all of us.
Thank you. So I'm going to turn it back over to the audience, community. Any other questions? Shri. Shri is one of our founding members of the Urban Alliance on Race Relations. I'm really glad to see him today.
I'm not a founding member, however. Recently I was watching a BBC program about Cecil Rhodes, who is the person after whom Rhodesia was named. And this man has established from his immense wealth the Rhodes Scholarship, where people are entitled to ask and to have the opportunity to expand their vision and their education and knowledge. Others were demanding the removal of Rhodes' statue from that particular college at Oxford. What I would like to remind people is that Nelson Mandela, who has become a hero to many people, is a person who established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa. That objective was to people come forward to admit their errors, people come forward to seek justice and connect with each other. Mandela is gone, but South Africa is still suffering because too many people are still separating themselves either in denial or in demand. Now, what we are talking about here is an example of how we can move forward reconciling the perpetrators and the victims and those different communities. That is one of the things that the Urban Alliance has done for the last almost 40 years. We step forward, we help, we demand, government sets up commissions, they make recommendations. The flimsiness is that those recommendations are not implemented. I think the tragedy is that those commissions don't have the power to effect their recommendations. And until governments at the three levels commit themselves that those commissions and investigations will result, will have the political will to make sure that those recommendations are made, we will still be meeting. And I am not apologizing for meeting. I think we need to carry forward. I may be gone in a few years, right? So the younger generation has to take the baton and move along with the race. Thank you.
Wow. So 1, 2, 3. I see you. Just 1 second. Okay. Sorry.
There is a recent book by a Native American woman, Shenandoah. The title of the book is Garbage Bag Suitcase. She recommends that Native children need quality education and they should be supported in very high quality boarding schools. So I wanted to ask the panel, would you see some role for a safe place for Native children in a boarding school? We heard on the news today about 7 students at Thunder Bay having died, and that Native school they were going to had to rely on cheap boarding houses because the family really couldn't afford to pay more rent for the students coming to Thunder Bay. So,
Okay. So I see the two others, but I'll come to you after the next one, okay? We'll do one more round.
I have a question for Father Bird specifically. Do you believe in order to improve the living conditions for First Nation people, there has to be a systematic change to the existing social structures? What I mean is, for the 20 years I've been in Canada, I've heard time after time that our First Nation people need clean water. They need better education. And I'm getting a little bit tired of hearing this. It has been 20 years. Where has all the funding gone? And another report I've read from CBC is that many First Nation chiefs have gone under investigation for corruption, money laundering. So what, in your mind, is a better solution so that we make sure fundings arrive at First Nation Reserve and they go to the right people and right places and the right projects?
Thank you for that last question. Corruption exists in many parts of our society and of Canada. And every government is shown to be corrupt halfway through